I'm debating these sons of I'm out there on these right-wing shows, so I'm not scared to do that. Where the hell is the Democratic Party? Where's our equivalent of Turning Point USA?
Newsom's team doubled down, repeating the snack-size slap on X. Joe Rogan is a snack-sized podcaster who can't stop talking about me. Obsessed? Crush? No thank you. But is too scared to have me on and let his audience hear the truth.
He's talking some on Twitter.
I know, it's like, you think that's going to work? Like, that's so stupid. Like, this is such a bad look. It's such a bad choice.
There's a little desperation in it.
But it's just stupid. It's like...
The Joe Rogan Experience studio hums with energy. The walls are lit with warm red lights. Microphones glint under the spotlight, and the signature neon sign glows behind Joe's chair. The audience knows, when Joe leans forward like this, someone's about to get roasted. Gavin Newsom adjusts his tie, putting on that politician's grin. He's calm, or at least trying to look that way. He knows this isn't a friendly CNN chat. This is Joe Rogan's arena, raw, unfiltered, unpredictable. Joe starts off polite. Governor Newsom, thanks for coming, man. Not a lot of politicians are willing to sit down in a setting like this. Gavin smiles. Well, Joe, I believe in having conversations, even with critics. Joe nods. Good, because I got a lot of questions. He chuckles, the crowd laughs, but the tension's real. Joe glances at his notepad, then looks up. Let's start with the obvious. California. Used to be heaven on earth, right? Beautiful, booming, full of opportunity. But now, he shrugs, you can't even walk down parts of LA without being offered fentanyl. Gavin's smile fades slightly. That's an exaggeration, Joe. We're dealing with a nationwide crisis. Joe raises a hand. Sure, but California's leading it, right? You got billion-dollar budgets to fix homelessness, but somehow, it keeps getting worse. How's that even possible? The governor fidgets. The issue is systemic. We're tackling root causes like housing affordability and... Joe interrupts. Systemic? Bro, that's a buzzword. What's systemic is your government's inability to get anything done. The chat explodes. Speech balloon Joe cooking him alive. Speech balloon Newsom malfunctioning. Speech balloon systemic failure equals California. Gavin's tone gets sharper. You can mock, but we're investing in renewable energy, healthcare, education. Joe leans in, voice calm but slicing like a knife. And yet, people are leaving in record numbers. Tesla, Oracle, HP, even small family businesses, all gone. You know why? Because you've turned Cal.
Well, you start with Joe Rogan. So I'm going to start cursing.
He wants to be president so bad.
The governor of the most populous state and the host of one of the most popular podcasts are feuding.
This is Gavin Newsom.
California Governor Gavin Newsom, who hosts his own podcast, has invited Joe Rogan onto his show and publicly asked to be invited onto Rogan's show.
Joe, why won't you have me on the show? He won't have me on the show. It's a one-way. And he has guests coming and attacking and bashing, but he will not have me on the show, period. Full stop. He should have me on the show. Come on my show, Joe.
California into a luxury prison. Gavin laughs nervously. That's dramatic. Joe smiles coldly. No, that's reality. Ask anyone making less than 6 figures. They're taxed to death and can't afford rent. You got billionaires building bunkers and working-class folks living in tents. Silence. Joe continues. You ever think maybe the problem isn't the people but the policies? Gavin crosses his arms. We're protecting Californians from exploitation. Joe interrupts again. By exploiting them with taxes? Bro, you're charging people for plastic bags and gas like it's gold. Laughter breaks out in the studio. Gavin forces a smirk. Joe keeps going, relentless. You talk about clean energy, but your power grid collapses every summer. You talk about equality, but LA's got billion-dollar mansions right next to human suffering. Where's the equality in that? Gavin's voice tightens. We're working on long-term solutions. Joe nods sarcastically. Yeah, and the long term keeps getting longer. Meanwhile, people are packing up U-Hauls for Texas. He leans closer, eyes locked on Gavin. You ever notice that the people leaving aren't extremists or radicals? They're teachers, nurses, small business owners, normal folks who just can't afford to live under your rules. Gavin's face goes red. I reject that narrative. Joe laughs. Of course you do. It's easier to reject the narrative than fix the mess. The air gets heavy. Cameras zoom in. Joe's tone drops, serious now. I'm not saying you're a bad person, Governor. I'm saying your leadership failed real people. You made the state look good on paper, but you broke it in reality. Gavin looks rattled. You don't understand the complexities of governance. Joe leans back. Maybe not, but I understand results. And right now, your results suck. The studio falls silent for a few seconds. Even the crew stops moving. Gavin takes a deep breath, clearly holding back irritation. Joe presses on. Let me ask you something.
Rogan doesn't seem impressed by a potential Newsom presidential run in 2028.
You can't ruin a city and then go on to ruin a state and say, guys, that was just practice.
I know.
Once I get it as a president, I'm going to fix it. Fix it all.
I mean, it's so crazy, but he's such a great politician. I mean,
No,
he's
not.
so smooth.
He's
Oh,
not,
you don't think so?
No, I think he's terrible.
Rogan attacking Newsom's job performance in California.
You have the highest unemployment.
Yeah.
You have the highest homelessness.
Look what they did with Hollywood.
Money's missing. You killed Hollywood. Like, Hollywood doesn't exist anymore. It's literally gone.
Newsom responding to Rogan on X, posting California is the 4th largest economy in the world, but #1 in manufacturing, farming, new business starts, tech and VC investments, Fortune 500 companies, public higher education. I could continue. Invite me on anytime, Joe Rogan.
It was all that before you were there. It was all that forever. It's because the weather's perfect, man. It has nothing.
How many more people need to leave before you admit something's wrong? 10 million? 20? Gavin stays quiet. Joe shakes his head. You can't legislate your way out of common sense, man. People want safety, freedom, and opportunity, not lectures and lockdowns. The audience erupts. Comments online blow up instantly. Fire, Joe with the kill shot. Fire, this man just ended Newsom's career. Fire, realest interview ever. Gavin tries to recover. Well, Joe, at least we're not banning books or restricting rights. Joe laughs. Yeah, you're just restricting wallets. You tax soda, water, cars, air. Soon people will need a permit to breathe. Even the crew can't help but laugh. Gavin shakes his head, flustered. This is ridiculous. Joe grins. What's ridiculous is losing the greatest state in America because of bad leadership. You had gold and turned it to dust. Joe takes a slow sip of his drink, staring straight at the camera. You can't spin reality forever. California was the dream. Now it's the warning. The outro music fades in. Gavin's face is frozen in forced composure. Joe nods to the camera. That's the problem with politics. You can fool people for a while, but eventually the truth shows up. The clip ends. Twitter explodes. YouTube comments flood in. TikTok clips go viral. Joe Rogan humiliates Gavin Newsom for ruining California, and he can't handle it, hits 20 million views in 24 hours. Joe's final quote trends everywhere. Speaking head, you can't fix a state if you can't face the truth.